I'm AC Brown, and you're listening to Is My Aura On Straight, a podcast designed to help you start living from your core instead of your conditioning. Each week, we'll have deep conversations that will help you create a powerful transformation that shifts your perspective in life, love, and business, with topics ranging from spiritual self-development, human design, astrology, metaphysics, and everything in between. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Is My Aura On Straight. I am your host, AC Brown. I am your psychic channel and spiritual confidant. And thank you so much for joining me for another episode. As you can see by the title of this lovely episode, we're talking about meditation today. And now, some of my thoughts on meditation might surprise you, but let's get into this episode. And I have a treat for you all because I want to break down how each of the elements astrologically can benefit from meditation. But first things first, let's talk about meditating and the benefits. Now, I don't like meditating at all. I actually hate to meditate, but I have to. A long time ago, when I was doing psychic development, mediumship development, all of those things, I was like, oh, AC, you need to meditate. You need to clear your mind, all of that stuff. Now, meditating is very different for many people. For me, I cannot sit and do a 15-20 minute meditation just sitting around and just being quiet. That doesn't work for me. It's never worked for me. So I've had to find like ways to meditate because, of course, meditation works. It's not like a false kind of thing that, it's a lie. No, it actually works. It helps you out. It really brings a lot of clarity to you, to what you're doing, etc. And so I want to talk about the benefits of meditating, but I also want to talk about some other ways that are unconventional ways of meditating that we don't normally hear about because it's always this, I don't want to say it's this kind of, it's not a fad because people have been meditating for a long time, but sometimes people make it seem like it's a contest, like a meditation contest where you have to meditate for a certain amount of time to get enlightened. And if you're not meditating, then you're not enlightened and you can't be enlightening and all of this stuff. And the more you meditate, let's cut the crap right here. You're going to have to find your own style of meditation. You're going to have to do it. Like I said, I hate to do it, but I do it. So, one of the things that I use Insight Timer. And Insight Timer is one of my favorites. But the reason why I like Insight Timer is because they have a lot of meditations on there that are really short, really effective. Some of my favorite ones are less than 7 minutes because, like I said, I don't like doing it. But I do it anyway. And meditating is not just sitting and listening to someone guide you. It's sometimes not really a long process. I love recording meditations for other people because my voice kind of works that way. And to where people get really connected and it resonates and it penetrates, which is great. So I do record my own meditations for myself, which is very easy for me to do. So, and sometimes they're short, sometimes on my Instagram, I do these minute meditations because I don't think meditating has to be this long drawn out thing. And like I said, you don't have to sit down and do it. For me, some of my best meditating is done in the shower or walking or when I am actually outside in cold air, or it's interesting. But let's go over the benefits of meditation because this is really important, because even though I don't like doing it, I do it, and I do advise you to do it, but there's different ways to do it in order for you to really connect with your higher self, to clear your mind, all of that stuff. So the first things first, meditating, meditation, it increases your self-awareness. And when I say increases your self-awareness, it helps you have a lot of aha moments, a lot of revelations when you're thinking about things. I love guided meditations for many reasons, because guided meditations, they take you on a journey to whatever you're, focusing on, whether it's clearing your chakras, whether it's, talking to your future self. It sort of creates that clarity for you by increasing your self-awareness. And this happens over time. Now, the biggest thing that I learned when I started meditating was, if you start having these kind of thoughts in your mind, that's okay. Your mind's going to go there. And sometimes that silence takes a long time to get, or that kind of like enlightened state that many people who have been meditating for years and years, and who can meditate for days and hours or longer than 5 minutes, they have this kind of like really silent mind. But that comes with time. And so as you meditate, it increases your self-awareness, meaning you start having those revelations, you start recognizing things within yourself that really help you say, okay, I didn't think about it like that. That's interesting. And you just start having these like aha moments that really assist you and help you out. That's one of the benefits of meditation. The second one is it calms you the fuck down. Okay. When I did start doing a lot of meditating and practicing different forms of meditation, my anxiety really lowered. My anxiety, my stress levels, all of that really kind of like eased up. And I wasn't so anxious. I wasn't so nervous about things. I wasn't so stressed about things. I spent a lot of time, and I used to spend a lot of time worrying about things that I could not control. So, and that is normal for many people. And worrying about things that you can't control. And so what meditating helps me with is it calmed me down. And anytime that I find myself anxious or worrying about things that I can't control, I do a 1 minute or a 2 minute meditation where I place my hand over my heart. I take big, deep breaths and doing some breath work. And I either listen to something or I do my own like kind of energy clearing that I do. And it just calms me down. And it helps me like come down and ground myself. And it helps me just really say, okay, whew, it's not as bad, or whew, this is not the end of the world, or this is just all of those things that kind of race through our minds when we are in stressful states, when we're in anxious states, all of that stuff. But that's a benefit of meditating. Another one, calming you down. Okay. The third benefit of meditation is helps you manage your emotions. This is a big one because when I first went to therapy, many years ago, for the first time, my therapist, he was just like, maybe you should try meditating, because I was very sensitive and I was very emotional, and I was going through a lot with death, breakup, changes, a lot of things. And I was very emotional. I mean, of course, I was depressed because I was crying all the time. I didn't know what was happening. There was a lot going on. But what meditation helps me with is it helped me manage my emotions. It really helped me silence the inner critic, silence those voices that were in my head. It helped me silence all of the naysayers in my mind. And it helps me really kind of hold my own hand emotionally. And what I mean by that, meditating is not a fix to depression or anxiety or things that therapy can help you, but it's a tool that kind of allows you to, how can I put this? It calms you down And like I said, it calms you down. But when it comes to managing your emotions, it helps you be less reactive to your emotional state and more introspective. And it's almost, well, for me, it would help me catch myself when I was getting ready to have an emotional spiral. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. And at that time, I was, on antidepressants. I had those good, old school therapy sleep meds to help me sleep. It was a lot. So the meditating helped me kind of like not spiral down. It helped me like kind of just gather myself and like, okay, it's not that bad. You can do this. Your life is not over. All of those things, because when you're in those states of emotional kind of distress, you don't know what's happening. You feel like you're losing control. You feel like everything around you is kind of like coming in and just strangling you, whether it's your job, work, love, all of these things are just really coming in for the kill. That's what it feels like. But when you meditate, it's sort of like, bringing you down. Like everything is not as bad as it seems. Things are going to work out. It just helps that kind of come through. And the last thing that I think meditating helps you with is it helps you gain clarity. I think probably out of, increasing your self-awareness, calming you the fuck down, managing your emotions, gaining clarity is probably the biggest benefit in my opinion. The other ones are very important too, but where I am in my life right now, gaining clarity is the biggest thing that I need from meditating. I usually ask a question, or I ponder, a question for the week, and I want answers. So I meditate to get those answers and to say, okay, what is the next best step? And that's probably my favorite thing that I learned from Oprah. When you are in distress or when you're feeling like things are not going well, asking yourself, what is the next best step? And at times, sometimes we don't have the answer. Sometimes we start seeking externally outside of ourselves, and we don't get any answers. And I think that when you meditate, it's about you looking within to gain that clarity of what the next best step is. Because, when we think about coaches and guides and, people helping us, there's nothing wrong with that. Therapy, all of that stuff. These are actual factual great tools for us to use and utilize. But there are times in our life when we are in transition periods where the biggest blessing is our own clarity, is our own, coming to moments that we have. And that's what meditating can give you. It can give you these moments that help you come into your own, that help you make those decisions by yourself, that help you gain confidence in your decision making, in your awareness of who you are. And meditating helps you with that. And many of us are afraid, and I'll say this from my own experience. Sometimes we don't do these things because we're afraid of what will happen. And what I mean by that is it kind of sucks knowing that you had the answers all along, that what you're seeking is not externally outside of yourself, that it's always been within, because you do hear that a lot. Oh, what you really need is within. You have the answers. That is a hard pill to swallow when you think your life is falling apart. Like when you think people are wronging you, or when you think that things are not working out, or when something is not happening externally outside of yourself the way that you want it to, or the way that you thought it was going to happen. And when you hear that, oh, the answers were with you all along, you don't want to hear that. I mean, I know there's times where I don't want to hear that. So that's why I don't meditate at times, because I don't want that. I don't want to know that I actually have the answers, that it's not going to be from someone else. That sucks, because you already know the answers. You already know what is speaking to you internally. You already know that yes or no. You know if that person is not good for you. You know if that job is not good for you. You know if, the friendship is ending. You know that this is all of these things. And meditating can help you gain that clarity through your self. Yeah, it helps you quiet that mind. It brings all of those things down. So that's, why I think, meditation can help you gain clarity. But what I also have noticed is that everybody meditates differently, and each of our signs, and I'm going to say signs when I say signs astrologically, I think that it's twofold. It's your sun sign and your moon sign. And the moon sign more important than the sun sign. And the reason why I say the moon sign more important than the sun sign is because your moon manages your emotions. And as we just talked about, meditating can help you manage your emotions. It calms you down, increases your self-awareness. That's all connected to your moon and how you feel when you don't feel, all of that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that your sun sign is not important, but your sun sign, and like many of you have heard me say, and I'm going to be talking about this more when we talk about different astrological things and going through some of the planets, your sun sign is the basic of the basic of you. It's not like a bad thing, or it's not something that you don't account for, but your sun sign is after people get to know you. It's your like truly the core. It's the heart and soul of you. And so all of the other planets and other things kind of lead first. And your sun sign is kind of, it's not in the back burner. It's just not as prevalent as we think it. That's even wrong to say. It's very prevalent. It's very important. But on a day-to-day aspect, there are many other factors astrologically that play a role in your day-to-day life. And your sun sign sometimes is not at the top of the list. I'll say that. We talked about rising signs, which we'll dive back into. But when it comes to, how each element can benefit from meditation, I want you to look at your moon sign first, because that's where your emotions are. So when we talk about water signs and how they can benefit from meditating, your Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, meditation helps you with grounding. And it helps you with handling your emotions, especially if your moon sign is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. It's a really emotional place for you all. And not just because you're water signs, because I think there's other emotions, other emotional elements besides water signs. Fire signs are extremely emotional, which we'll get there. But when it comes to water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio moons, meditation helps you with grounding and handling your emotions. It keeps that perspective for you. It helps you not overreact. And as a Pisces sun, but I have a Earth moon, I can say that, yes, it helps me twofold. Then you have your Earth signs, your Taurus, your Capricorn, and your Virgo. And meditation for Earth signs helps them gain more intense clarity and get you more in tune within. Because as a moon earth sign, I'm a Taurus moon, I do feel a lot more grounded than normal. But I have my big three are, I have water, then I have earth, and then I have fire. And then I have a lot of air. So I have a lot of mix of the elements in my actual chart. So, but to those of you who are, either heavier or not on there, if you're an earth moon or an earth sun, meditating for earth signs helps you gain more intense clarity. It helps you tune more within than you already are. And it will help you kind of decipher I don't want to say when I say helps you gain more clarity, because I'm a Taurus moon, I'm not as emotional when it comes to certain things, but when my security or my safety is compromised, that's when I start getting a little, oh my gosh, WTF. And so meditating helps me dig deeper and really like kind of shut down those negative things. Okay. Then you have your air signs, your Libras, your Geminis, and your Aquarius, either sun or moon people. So, what meditation for air signs helps you with? It helps you with intellectual stimulation and helping you with your thinking process. So let me repeat, intellectual stimulation and thinking process. Now, I know you're like, but hey, AC, meditation is supposed to calm me down. Correct. But for air signs, especially moon and sun air signs, it's really helping you with your thinking process, those steps, those A, B, C, D. So you can see those, feel those, imagine those without getting overwhelmed, to intellectually stimulate you so you don't feel like you don't know what you're talking about, those types of things. I also think that for air signs, surprisingly, I believe that air signs will do better with walking meditations or meditations where they're in movement, where they are doing things that are not like sitting down, because air is about movement. And so I believe that a walking meditation is going to do a lot better for an air sign than for a water or an earth. And then we'll talk about fire in a second. But so for air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, meditation is about intellectual stimulation and helping you with your thinking process. So anytime you are kind of lost or kind of out of sorts with the next steps, that's what meditation can help you with, helping you break down that process. Okay. Then you have fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, your sun or your moon. Meditation for fire signs is really about spiritual self-development, to bring them closer to a higher power, to bring them closer to spirit, to bring them closer to God, to bring them closer to a source. Because fire signs, they're about fire. And this is another, where people don't think fire signs are emotional as hell. Okay. As what do they call Sagittarius, which is so wrong. But Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo are very emotional. Anybody who's ever dated one, had friends, been friends with them, parents, associates, fire signs can be very emotional. And so with that, they need to connect with a higher source. They need more guidance than I would say all of the other air signs when it comes to mental thinking or mental processing. So their meditating is about a spiritual connection, about a higher power, about really connecting to something outside of themselves that can assist them with the judgment, assist them with the decisions that they make, assist them with the emotions that they're feeling. So that's why meditation is good for fire signs. So just to recap what we talked about today and just how meditation can help you gain clarity. Like I said, I don't like meditating, but I do it anyway. But some of the benefits are increasing your self-awareness, it's calming you down, it's helping you manage emotions, and it's of course helping you gain the maximum clarity. And when you're thinking about it from an element perspective, think about it from your moon sign, because your moon sign is where your emotions are. That's what's triggering you. That's what's getting you riled up. That's what's helping you make those emotional decisions. And when you think about your, whether you're water, earth, air, or fire, those are some of the type of ways that you can meditate to help bring a better sense of awareness to you. Okay. So some of my favorite meditation. I keep on saying meditation. Y'all know I mess up words. That's the beauty of this podcast. That's me and my most authentic self, because sometimes my brain moves faster than my lips. So that's how it works over here. And so some of my favorite meditation apps, I would say it's the only one I use, is Insight Timer. And like I said, the reason why I love Insight Timer, and maybe they should sponsor me, because I love Insight Timer. Insight Timer is good because you can search based off of certain things. They have tons of different meditations that are quick and easy, some that are longer, but my favorites are on there. So try them out for sure. Give them a try, and also try some other ways. Like I said, meditation does not have to be limited to you listening to a guided meditation with music and a soft voice. Meditation can be you in your shower. When you're in your shower and the water is trickling down on you and you just start having these epiphanies, these moments, all of that stuff, especially if you're an open head center, a human design wise, the shower is always going to kind of like get that party started for you. And then walking meditation is good for you. Just that walking and movement, all of that stuff. So there's tons of ways to meditate. Even laying down in the bed before you go to sleep, that's a good way to meditate. So there's tons of ways to meditate, but meditation is important. Meditation can really help you. And especially in the times that we are right now, you need something to help you come back into yourself, and meditation can do that. So I would love, to hear your meditation stories or, other tips that you have. So definitely shoot me a DM and, hashtag is my aura on straight and post a story about your meditation practices. I would love to see them. So until next time, make sure you all have an amazing day filled with good vibes and great energy. And remember, don't let anybody fuck with you. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of Is My Aura on Straight. This podcast was produced by Callie Green and edited by Adam Ross. If you loved this episode, please make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. We love to hear from you. Also, make sure you're following me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Until next time, bye-bye.